Hello everyone, welcome back to Insight. Today, as part of the Australia series, I'm going to talk about the English language test. Now, English language test is a requirement for almost all of the points tested visas and other visas for immigration purposes. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about PTE, which is a very popular test in Australia, which gives you points for your English ability, and why I chose PTE over IELTS. I'm also going to talk about my exam study plan, what are some of the resources that I followed, how does the PTE structure look like. If you find the video helpful, make sure to listen through and make sure to subscribe as well. So moving on to the section, why PTE over IELTS. So when I was giving the English language test and I was trying to collect points for my points tested visas, I wanted to collect the maximum number of points so that I get more points when I apply for that visa. And I initially gave IELTS, I gave the paper-based format, but I was just not able to score 8 in all the sections. Like, I fell short of just a margin in the writing section. I was getting 8 in all, but I was getting a 7.5 or a 7 in writing, but I was just not able to get 8. And if you want to get maximum points for Australian visa, that is 20, you need to score 8 in all the sections: reading, writing, listening and speaking. So that's when I thought I'll focus on the PTE test. And as far as I've heard from experiences and I researched a lot, I saw that PTE is more about a strategy. It's like fully computer based. If you have a way of answering different questions, there is a high probability that you will get that 8 in all the bands. That is 8 is equivalent to 79 in PTE, so there is a high probability that you will score that in all the sections if you answer the questions a particular way. And I know a lot of people who have done that as well. They have answered it, they have attempted all the questions and reached to the end of the test without missing out on questions, even though there were some mistakes, but still they managed to get that 79 mark. So that's why I chose PTE over IELTS. Now, although IELTS has a computer-based format as well, but still I would somehow recommend PTE. It's a personal choice definitely, but PTE is crackable. I have done that as well. So yeah, in my second attempt, I was able to score that 79 plus in all of the sections. And I'm going to tell you what went wrong in my first attempt as well, that why I couldn't crack 79 plus in one of the sections. So we'll talk about that as well. So I'm going to quickly take my notes to talk you through the PTE Academic Format. Now, one thing that has changed, and that's actually good, is that the exam has become shorter. I think it's a very recent update and the exam is just 2 hours now. When I gave it, it was around 3 hours. So that is a good news. Although the pattern of questions and the type of questions have remained the same, it's just that some of the questions have been removed. Like, if there are 10 questions of a particular type, now there are 6 or 7. So that's a good news definitely. So there are 3 parts. The first part is the speaking and writing. The second part is the reading. Then there is an optional break that you can take. Then there's the listening part. Now, it is very important to know the type of question that will appear in each section. In fact, the exam is so fast. Like, one question appears on your screen, you have a timer. You need to answer that within that timer. The recording starts, the recording stops, and then it moves on to the second section, a second type of question. So it's that fast. So you need to be really attentive, and you need to have some kind of an idea that, okay, first type of questions was the reading aloud. Next type of questions would be the repeat sentence. So you are somewhat prepared. Okay, once repeat sentence is over, probably the next type of questions would be describing an image and speaking about that. So that way, please be aware of the question type and the type of questions that can appear before going for the test, because the test is really fast. So I'm going to quickly talk you through the type of questions, like how the exam structure looks like. So the first part is speaking. So the type of questions could be read aloud. There is a passage that is given. You need to read aloud the passage within a time frame. So there's a recording button that starts and a recording button that stops. You need to read aloud that's a group of 3 or 4 sentences. So there will be like 4 or 5 of that. Then repeat sentence. It's a single sentence. They'll say it and then you have to repeat it. Then describe image. There's an image on your screen. It could be anything. It could be a bar graph, pie chart. It could be a cycle process like the water cycle or evaporation process. You need to describe what you see in the image. Then there's retell lecture. You will hear a lecture. You need to, you need to jot down and you need to repeat that lecture. Then there's answer short questions. You usually give 1 or 2 word answer for a question like where is the place that children usually play? So you will say a playground. So there's no fixed answer to it, but yeah, you need to answer it in 1 word. Then the next part is writing. So basically you need to summarize written text. It would be like 3 or 4, 5 paragraphs. You need to summarize that into a sentence. And then there's write essay. So essays could be like you could have 2 essays or you could have 1 essay. There will be a topic that's given and you need to write an essay of words. I think there would be a word limit. It used to be 250 words, I think. So yeah, that you can check. Then the next section is reading section. So reading section is basically multiple choice questions, choose single answer. So again, there will be paragraphs. You need to read that and then you need to choose a single answer. Then multiple choice questions, choose multiple answers. Then reorder paragraphs. Now when you reorder paragraphs, like there will be multiple paragraphs, you need to first find out which is the independent sentence which is not appear to be connected to others. So that usually becomes your first sentence. And then other sentences should have some kind of link with the next sentence. So that way you can reorder, and that's the way how you answer this question. Then there's reading, fill in the blanks. So you need to fill in the blanks based on the passage. And then there's reading and writing. So basically you choose the closest option. There will be multiple options and you need to choose the closest option and fill in the blanks based on that. Then the next part is listening. So that's like summarize spoken text, just like there was summarized written text, but in this case you are listening to something and then you are writing down. Then there's multiple choice questions, choose multiple answers. So that's again you're listening to a passage and then you are selecting the multiple choice questions. So all of these listening sections would require you to make notes. Then there's fill in the blank section. You again listen and fill in the blanks. Then highlight correct summary. You will listen to something. There would be 3 or 4 options. That is this the summary of what was said? So there will be usually contrasting differences, or there will be very, it can seem to be similar, but you would find the exact summary in one of those options. So that would be the correct one. Then multiple choice questions, again choose single answer. Then there will be a select a missing word, as in you are trying to listen through a passage and there will be some words that are missing. Then highlight incorrect words. This is, I think, the easiest one. This I really like because you're just scrolling through the passage. So keep your mouse ready as you listen to the passage, scroll through what is written, and you will find that there will be incorrect words. That is, the passage says something else, but the word was not matching to that. So you click that, so it gets highlighted. So that's highlight incorrect words. And then the last section, and probably the most important section, I'll tell you why, is the write from dictation. You listen to a sentence and then you have to write that sentence. It would be a small sentence, like a single sentence, usually I think 6 to 10 words. You listen to that and then you write it down. There would be 3 or 4 of this category as well. So this is the exam structure in short.